So, something huge is happening right now, kind of under the radar. A massive army is being put together. And we're not talking about professional soldiers here. We're talking about millions of everyday citizens getting ready for what they're being told is a final war. And this isn't some future scenario. It's happening as we speak.
And the number they're aiming for, get this, is 20 million. That's a volunteer force so big it would outnumber the entire population of many countries.
But hold on, this isn't an army like you're probably picturing. No massive tank columns, no giant military bases. This is something else entirely. It's a civilian force, woven right into the fabric of society, and they're being called up right now.
All right, so let's get into what this really is. This force has a name. It's called the Bajij, and the call is going out across the country for millions of new recruits to join its ranks.
And you've got to be asking, right? Why this massive call to arms? Why now all of a sudden? Well, the answer really lies in the intense geopolitical pressure that's being put on Iran.
It turns out the trigger for all of this, it's a high-stakes standoff that's been escalating with the United States. And the pressure is really ramping up. We're talking about American naval fleets moving towards the region. And with them comes this list of pretty serious demands. Roll back the nuclear program, get rid of the missile program, shrink your professional military, and even a call to end the current form of government itself.
So, faced with all that, what does Iran do? They've turned inward to their own people. A call has gone out everywhere, from mosques to community centers, all over social media, asking millions of citizens to volunteer.
So let's really dig into what this force, the Baji, actually is. What are we talking about here?
Okay, so its full name is the Most Azafan Basij. That literally translates to the Army of the Oppressed. It was created way back in 1979 by Imam Khomeini. And the core idea was to have this huge reserve of citizen volunteers, anyone from 16 to 40 years old, who could be activated if the country was ever in a major crisis.
And if you want to volunteer, it's not just a free-for-all. There's a clear path. You start as what's called 80, or regular. That's where you get basic ideological and military training. If you're really dedicated, you can then go through 45 days of more specialized training to become fa'al, or active. And then, the best of that group, they're chosen to become Vijay, or special members, which is basically a direct pipeline into the Professional Revolutionary Guard.
And that really tells you everything you need to know about the level of commitment they expect. The source material we're looking at describes these volunteers as people who are genuinely prepared to walk away from it all. Their jobs, their businesses, even their families, to fight for their beliefs and their country.
So all of this, it feeds into a much bigger picture, a core military strategy. You have to ask, what's the point of a 20 million-person civilian army?
Well, the whole idea behind Iran's defense is that if they get invaded, the enemy won't just be fighting soldiers on some faraway battlefield.
Just look at the numbers for a second. Iran's professional army, it's about 190,000 troops. But the Baji, we're talking up to 20 million volunteers. The entire strategy is designed to make any invasion a war against the whole population, not just a fight against the military.
And these volunteers have very specific, very critical jobs. They're meant to run the home front. You know, they would handle domestic security, organize civil defense during airstrikes, and just be a constant presence in every single neighborhood. Female members are trained as paramedics and nurses. Younger members learn things like urban combat and rescue. It's all designed to free up the professional army to focus exclusively on the front lines.
When you put all these pieces together, this entire strategy points to one pretty sobering conclusion about what any potential war would actually look like.
The source material we're looking at here doesn't mince words. It calls the idea that a conventional military attack could actually succeed a fool's dream.
Because the whole point, the entire defense strategy, is to make sure an attacker is trapped in an unwinnable situation. They wouldn't be fighting an army, they would be fighting a nation in arms.
And that just leaves us with this one huge question, doesn't it? In our modern world, with all its high-tech warfare, how do you even begin to fight an entire nation that is armed, trained, and ideologically prepared to sacrifice absolutely everything for its homeland?